already knew that there were problems with the mentality of WNBA players, but every time they have spoken, for the most part, this weekend at the All Star weekend, they reinforced the thought that there's something wrong with these individuals, at least some of them, in their thought process. They live in this land of delusion of what is real in life. And most recently, there was an interview with Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa Thomas, man, is just a bitter human being who lives in this state of delusion. And in the All Star weekend interview she has here, she makes some comments about the fans again, because that's all she seems to focus on are the fans and how the fans act and how the fans do this and how the fans do that. It's gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So we're going to take a look at what she had to say and then, obviously give our commentary on it. But of course, you know who she's referring to. She's referring to Caitlin Clark fans. That's who she's referring to. She's not referring to anybody else because you never heard her speak on this stuff 3 years ago. Heck, did most of us even know who she was 3 years ago? Because the reality is most people didn't have any idea who Alyssa Thomas was. And if she was walking down the street, you wouldn't even know who she was. And you wouldn't even think to say, oh, she plays in the WNBA. But unfortunately for Alyssa Thomas, when you want to get paid, that's part of the actual job or sport. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Show my like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave a comment. Appreciate y'all continued support of the channel. It's going to be a interesting second half of the WNBA season. We're going to find out if Caitlin Clark's going to be able to play at all. I don't know how much she'll be able to play. I don't know what's going on in her with what she does to recover because, it is what it is. But this is what Alyssa Thomas had to say when she's being asked a question about the WNBA.
Yes, I think, our sports culture, I think so many fans, have feel they have the freedom to say whatever they want to us. And unfortunately, there's a lot of nasty things that come with it. At the end of the day, we're here doing our jobs, and they don't have people coming to their jobs saying these nasty things. So yeah, we definitely have to protect the players better. It's unfortunate that it's come to this point, but I know we're going to continue to speak up about it, and we're just trying to play basketball. That's all.
That's not how it works, my dear. That's not how it works. You're playing a sport. You're playing a game. You're you're playing a sport. This is not a job. The fact that basketball players and professional athletes refer to this what they do as a job kind of makes me laugh because it's not really a job. It's an opportunity. It is a blessing. It is doing something that you did as children that you're able to do as an adult and get paid for it. It's not a job. You love basketball. Most people in their jobs don't love their jobs. They go to work because they have to. They go to work because they have to take care of themselves. They have to go to work because they have to take care of their families. So a lot of people do not get jobs in the field or doing the things that they actually like. If I could make videos all day and that be my job, I'd love it. It'd be freaking awesome. And make the money I make in my day-to-day life, I would absolutely love it. So this is my outlet. This is fun. I enjoy this. The day I can call this a job, if that ever happens, I would never call it a job because I would be like, yo, I'm talking. I'm getting paid to talk. Like, think about that for a second. Getting paid to talk. I have opinions. I'm opinionated as hell. But my day to day is a job, and I enjoy my day to day. I love it. Actually, it's very rare for you to love what you do. Um, but when it comes down to, can you be a lawyer when you're 7? Can you be a doctor when you're 7? Can you do certain things when you're a kid? No, you can't. So but you can play basketball when you're 7. You can play football when you're 7. You can play baseball when you're 7. And if you're so blessed as to have that opportunity to do those things as an adult and get paid for it, and then you refer to it as a job and sit here and say people don't go to your job and say nasty things. Well, they're in an office. And you're talking about team sports for which Team A is in New York, Team B is in Miami, And New York travels to play in Miami. Do you think the people in Miami are saying nice things to the guys on the floor for New York? It's fandom. It's straight up fandom. Was she saying the same thing when I think a week or so ago there was a fan in Chicago for a Chicago Sky game that got taken out of the building? Were they doing investigations about that building for disrespectful things? No. Where are you experiencing this nastiness from people? Where are you experiencing this? You can never actually, pinpoint any specifics. You have no texts, you have no emails, you have no comments on your pages. Nasty things and fans talking trash, as long as that stuff isn't nasty in terms of racially negative to you, and not to mention most of the people doing that stuff are trolls. They're not fans of a sport. I've been a fan of many, many sports, many, many players. Never said a nasty thing in terms of posting something that's inappropriate, talking about anything other than really the game and how they carry themselves in their game and around their game. I'm not talking about Alyssa Thomas's personal life. We're not talking about her race, but she'll turn that into that's what the league is, the nasty things. Welcome to professional sports, Alyssa Thomas. It's what NBA players have been dealing with for quite some time. It's what NFL players have been dealing with for quite some time. NHL, NFL, every Major League Baseball, they've all dealt. Team sports have always had. You have fans for this team, you have fans for that team. How about you take your ass over to Europe and look at what happens at a soccer game? Look at what happens at a soccer game in South America. See how the fan behavior is in England. We've had stampedes, people being trampled to death at soccer games in Europe. Look at how they act in basketball games in Serbia. Now, Nikola Jokic for the NBA has spoken about it many, many times where he said, pressure? Have you been to? I'm from Serbia. Like an NBA game is tame. You got fireworks going off in the building in a game in Serbia. They don't sit down the entire time. It's like a freaking madhouse. It's like a madhouse. And you're sitting here talking about the WNBA and how the people in the seats are talking about you in the WNBA, but you can never actually show us anything other than your verbal that you're saying it. So because you're saying it, we're just supposed to randomly believe it because you're of your high level of credibility. Your girlfriend went to go play for that team that you're talking about because we know who you're talking about. You're not talking about the Liberty fans. You're not talking about the Golden State fans. You're not talking about the Dallas fans. You're talking about the Indiana Fever fans. You're talking specifically about the Caitlin Clark fans, which you have gone on and on and on about while your fiance went to go play for that team. And those fans gave her all kinds of love until she literally turned her back on them literally 3 weeks into the season and abandoned ship and jumped ship. Yeah, so she's going to catch some flack the other direction. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. As any fan base will do. As any fan base will do. But this nonstop, again, you've played in Indiana multiple times. How many people have you heard say something to you that you thought was racially a problem that you had someone thrown out of a building? You haven't. You haven't. In fact, where it happened was in your building against Caitlin Clark when they were up there last year in the playoffs in Connecticut. And they didn't even throw that guy out. They took him out and they let him go right back in. Alyssa Thomas she's becoming harder to listen to than Asia Wilson for me because she provides nothing to support anything that she says. She thinks the WNBA is a job like as if you're working as a secretary or as a cashier or a bookkeeper or something like that. No, you're not having that in those situations. You're working in a job. You play a sport. You don't work a job. You play a sport. Playing a sport brings things that regular 9 to 5 jobs don't bring. They bring fans. They bring adoration. They bring interest. You're a person. You're a public figure now. If you didn't want to be a public figure, guess what? Go get a regular job. You'll never have to deal with it again. But you also want more money now. You're in a CBA and you're demanding more money. Well, what happens when you want more money, when you're demanding more and when you're getting more attention, guess what happens? More criticism comes. More conversation about your game comes. People can look at your game and sit here and criticize your game, whether they think your game is good or they think your game is bad. But you guys take these things and you make them personal. They're not personal. I think you suck. You suck. That's my opinion. If you suck, I don't think she sucks though. But if that's an opinion of somebody, if someone thinks someone sucks, like like please stop it. You play a sport. This isn't a job. It's an opportunity. It's a blessing. And when you're 35 years old, Alyssa Thomas, guess what? You'll get the opportunity to go get a real job. And then you'll never have to worry about having people yell at you from the stands again. You'll never have to worry about people coming to your job and yelling mean things to you. Because I don't know what the mean things that she claims are because she never says it. She just rides that wave of whatever. You suck. You're trash. You're a bum. That's fan speak. Big deal. Live with it. You don't like it? Move on. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Come on now.